Good afternoon, brethren. This is Big Jude out here in Cali. Getting ready to start another lesson today, talking about why can't the Gentiles build up treasure. Sorry I haven't made a video in a while. The last couple of weeks I've been kind of sick. Haven't been feeling too well. Starting to feel a little bit better now, but I'm still not 100%. But I want to hurry up and get a video out here because it's been a long time. There's a lot of things going on out here in the world. And I wanted to make sure I got a chance to get out here and kind of tell another lesson to the brethren. Hopefully you guys have been learning and reading other books and expanding your knowledge. Today we're going to start about, we're going to talk about why can't the Gentiles build up treasure? Okay. And why is it so hard for the nations to build up treasure? Okay, we're going to start with Matthew 6, 19 and 20. Matthew chapter 6, verses 19 and 20. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. Now, this is talking about, people here, they're talking about building up treasures by their actions here. And they're not going to help any of the Israelites. I was talking to some Christians, I always talk to Christians. They talk about all the things that they do they have all these different ministries. And they go to all these different parts of the world. And I went to a seminary for a little while, and I started to become a pastor for a little while. And I kind of got it out when I realized that they wanted just to regurgitate information back to them, even if it wasn't correct. And I would question them on a lot of different things. So they didn't like me very much. So, but a lot of those guys I went to school with are pastors now, and they're going to Germany and Australia and Israel and England, and they're doing all this great worship and all these different places. They're saving all these souls in all these different places, which totally is not biblical at all, but okay. But that's how they build up their treasure. They're building up by helping the needy in Africa. And someone was trying to tell me that a while ago. Well, I give money every single month to these Africans. I said, I don't care about Hamites. I said, the Most High doesn't either. I said, are you helping the Israelites, learning who they are? And she just gave me a blank look. I said, that's what you're going to be tested on. That's what you're going to be measured on, is if you're helping the Israelites, not if you're helping some Hamites or you're helping some Moabites, get a Bible, that's probably been translated wrong, to bring out your whole universal doctrine. That's where that's how you build up blessings for the Most High. And that's how you store up treasures in heaven, by helping the true Israelites come back to their knowledge and understanding of who they are. Not by helping the other nations by giving them money or just giving them a Bible and giving them your doctrine. That's not building up treasure in heaven, and that's what they're supposed to be doing. We're going to kind of talk about that a little bit today. If you look today, the Israelites are being attacked all over the place. You look up north in Standing Rock, they pretty much went in there and destroyed their camp, and they're just doing whatever they want with the land. No one's saying anything anymore. Mass deportations of the Latinos now is pretty much happening. That's what's going on right now also. Shooting of the northern and southern kingdom left and right. Things are happening to us left and right, and there's a lot of things that are happening to us, but you don't hear anyone say anything about that. They're like, well, we should be able to do something, we can still build the pipeline and we can still make American jobs. It's amazing how any other person's plight is a problem. But as soon as it's an Israelite's plight and they're going through tough things, people are like, they don't care. But that's the spirits that are in them. And it's amazing to see because, they have compassion for everyone else. But as far as having compassion for us, sorry, bro, I had to get something to drink. They don't have any, and but once you realize these scriptures and you see, the whole spiritual side of what's going on, you can see that. Because before I used to think like, how could a person be like that? How could you just not have any compassion whatsoever? But come to find out, it's just the spirits that were put in them, and they're just not capable of it. And I'm going to talk about in Isaiah 42 and 22, how no one wants to restore, no one wants to help the Israelites. And this is referred to even over here in Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22. Isaiah 42 and 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith, restore. No one says anything about our 40 acres and a mule. No one says anything about the land that was taken away from the Native Americans. No one says anything about trying to help these people out with, with all the wrongs that have been happening to them for the last few hundreds and hundreds of years. That's not even a topic of discussion, So, but if you talk about helping some Hamites over in Africa, oh yeah, they're quick to go do that. If they talk to help out, some other people in China, so, some Christians in China, they'll go ahead, they'll go do that, or maybe someone over in India, they'll go do that. But as far as helping Israelites know who they are, oh no, that is not going to happen. Now, there was something I was kind of reading, I think the Most High kind of led me to, in Deuteronomy 28 and 10. A lot of times, as Hebrews, we look at the curses a lot to establish who we are, and which is great. And once we kind of realize who we are, that's a beautiful thing. That's a blessing to know who we are. But I want to take a look at Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 10. This is the blessing. Now, this blessing here is kind of a twofold blessing. It's a blessing for us, excuse me, but it can also be a blessing for the other nations. Take a look at this and see what you think. Again, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 10. And all people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of thee. You see, all the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of thee. Now, if all the other people who knew who we are, at this point, they would actually be blessing us right now. And then in that way, they actually might be able to bring some blessings upon themselves. Because we're going to talk a little bit about how, the people who knew their place and knew who we were and knew where they are in relation to that, they received a blessing. They didn't get a blessing just because the Most High wanted to bless them. They acknowledged the pecking order. There is a pecking order, and they and these people actually acknowledged the pecking order, and the Most High actually blessed them. But that's a blessing to know that, though. It's a blessing to know the pecking order. Again, just a quick review here, that chapter Deuteronomy 28 and 10, and all people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of thee. Now, let's kind of take a look at that, because this happened, if these people were to treat us correctly, like I said, maybe they will receive a blessing. Let's take a look at Rahab. Rahab in Joshua chapter 2, verse 10. Rahab 2, so Joshua chapter 2, verse 10. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you, and when ye came out of Egypt, and what ye did unto the two kings of the Amorites that were on the other side of the Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom ye utterly destroyed. Okay? And let's go to 11 also. And as soon as we had heard these things, our hearts did melt. Neither did there remain any more courage in any man because of you. For the Lord your God, he is God in heaven above and in earth beneath. And let's go ahead and go down to 12. Now therefore, I pray you, swear unto me by the Lord, since I have showed you kindness, that ye will also show me kindness unto my father's house, and give me a true token. Hold on, I'm going to get another quick drink here. So, by observing who God's chosen people are, Rahab here was actually helping the Israelites, and she wanted to be blessed for that. Now, the rest of the world is busy trying to bless everyone else, and not caring who the Israelites are, thinking they're going to receive a blessing. And this is why it's impossible for them to actually store up treasure in heaven, because they refuse to actually help out the true Israelites. They're willing to help out every single other person, but the Israelites, they will absolutely refuse to the last day to admit who they are. Okay, so, and of course Rahab's the whole household was saved, because of the kindness that she did to the Israelites. But of course, knowing the order, observing the things that the Most High did for his people, Okay, and how he showed favor for his people. And she's like, well, if I help you too, will you guys help me too? Can you pray to your God to help me too? Okay, so I've heard people, you try to use this and like, oh, well, see, the other nations can be saved too. Well, it was like she was saved because of what she did. She knew the pecking order. She knew how things were supposed to be. That's what she observed, and that's what helped her. Let's take a look at another example of this, and the Canaanite woman in Matthew 15 and 21. The Canaanite woman in Matthew 15 and 21. We're going to 15, 21 through 28. Then Jesus went thence and departed into the coasts of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, It is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to dogs. And she said, Truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. Excuse me. Then Jesus answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith, and be it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. Okay, so again, what did the woman say? And the main part of it was, and she said, Truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. She was acknowledging the masters are at the table. She just wanted some of the crumbs on the ground. And the Most High blessed her. Okay, so again, by having that blessing of knowing who the Most High's people are, the people that He has chosen, that's the way for them to actually receive some types of blessings. I mean, as evidence here in the Bible. Okay, so that's really, really important. Having that knowledge of who we are. That's why, when it talks about Jeremiah 17:4, how we were going to discontinue for our heritage, how the name of Israel in Psalms 83 was going to be, stricken from memory. Now you start to see how, like, the whole world now is going to not be able to, have any faith, not going to be able to serve, be helping the Israelites, and how the Israelites are going to be in such a low state. Okay, and not until the end when the Most High starts waking us up as to who we are. Okay, and even some of the Gentiles are starting to, acknowledge who we are. And I said I'd much rather be in their situation, trying to at least acknowledge who we are, to try to garner some favor, as opposed to being hard-headed all the way to the end. And if the Most High, puts that spirit on some of the Gentiles to help us out, that's a beautiful thing. Okay, and that's a blessing for them as well, because that goes back to that Deuteronomy 28 and 10 about how it's such a blessing to know who we are. Now, a couple more readings here real quick. I'm going to read from the other book here. It's called The Coptic Apocalypse of Peter. Let's see here. It's from the Lost Scriptures book, page 79. It's over here on the second row over here. Waiting for my assistant over here. We'll start right here. For every authority, principality, and power of the ages always wanted to remain with these immortal souls from the foundation of the world, in order that those who do not abide, since they have been ignorant and have not been saved, may be glorified by those who do abide. The main thing there is, since they have been ignorant and have not been saved. Okay? Because if you don't understand this information, you don't understand who the people are, it's hard to be saved. Rahab, they were saved because they knew who the people were, and they got in line, got in order. The Canaanites, they knew who we are as the God's chosen people, and they got in line. Okay. Now the other people here since they have been ignorant, they have not been saved. The other nations who just refuse, or can't, Most High doesn't open their eyes to see who we are, can't be saved. They're not going to be saved. That's just how it is. And the Most High is making it very plain here, as to who He's saving, who He's not. By the knowledge that He's giving these people. or lack thereof, Because I look on Facebook and I look on the news, and everyone's quick to help out. If someone has a need and they're sick or whatever else, they set up these pages where people can just go fund me, go do this, go give me money, this, and that. But let it be a Hebrew. We got some Hebrews that'll get shot down in the streets, and it's always like, well, what was he doing? He must have done something to be shot. He must have been up to no good. But the other people, they don't even think about that. They're quick to just help everybody else. But if it's a Hebrew or potential Hebrew, oh no, they'll find any reason to just not want to help out, not want to do anything for them. But that's the way the Most High said it was going to be. No one says restore. Okay, the last reading is going to come today out of the book of Jasher. This is one of my favorites. It's a long one, so we're going to do something a little bit different today with how we're going to present it to you guys today. Okay. It's the book of Jasher. Let me kind of tell you a little bit what's going on here. It's the book of Jasher. And I'm reading mine actually out of the Sefer book, chapter 35. We're going to start at verse 2 and go down to about 21. Now, let me read what it says at the top because it kind of gives a little synopsis of the whole chapter. It says, the fear of God comes upon the Canaanites, and they do not fight with Jacob. All right, Jacob took down Shechem. Well, it wasn't Jacob, but a couple of his sons took it down, and all the other nations are now coming together to fight against the Hebrews. And there's like hundreds of thousands of them, all lined up, getting ready to fight. And Jacob has his 12 sons. There's only got 100 Hebrews there. So if you're thinking, oh man, there's 600,000 of us, or hundreds of thousands of us. There's only 100 of them. This is gonna be easy. We can do this no problem, right? This is a breakdown of what's going on, of what the things that our power has done for us, and what that means to anyone who comes up against the Hebrews. Okay, and trust me, the elites, the upper people in this world, they know exactly who we are. They know exactly what's going to happen. They know exactly how things are going to play out. Okay, because it's all in the books, and it just repeats over and over and over again. So let's go ahead and read this a little bit. I'm gonna have to take a couple of pauses here and there. I said just hold on real fast because of my throat. But please bear with me. I'm doing the best I can here. I want to bring you guys a little something here. Okay, here we go. Jasher, chapter 35, verse 2. And Yahweh heard the prayers of Yitzchak, which is I think Isaac, and Yaakov, Jacob. And he filled the hearts of all these kings' advisors with great fear and terror, that they unanimously exclaimed, "Are you silly this day? Or is there no understanding in you that you will fight with the Ephraim?" I'm assuming that must be the Hebrews. "And why will you take a delight in your own destruction this day? Behold, 2 of them came into the city of Shechem without fear or terror, and they killed all the inhabitants of the city, that no one stood up against them. And how will you be able to fight with them all?" Okay, so remember now, only 2 of the Hebrews showed up and destroyed the entire city, all by themselves. "Surely you know that their Elohim is exceedingly fond of them, and has done mighty things for them, such as have not been done from days of old, and amongst all the Elohim of nations. There is none can do like unto his mighty deeds. Surely he delivered their father Abraham and Ivri from the hand of Nimrod, and from the hand of all his people, who had many times sought to slay him. He delivered him also from the fire in which King Nimrod had cast him, and his Elohim delivered him from it. And who else can do the like? Surely it was Abraham who slew the 5 kings of Elam, when they had touched his brother's son, who in those days dwelt in Sedom, and took his servant that was faithful in his house, and a few of his men, and they pursued the kings of Elam, in one night, and killed them, and restored his brother's son all his property, which they had taken from him. And surely you know the Elohim of these Ephraim is much delighted with them, and they are also delighted with him. for they know that he delivered them from all their enemies. And behold, through his love toward his Elohim, Abraham took his only and precious son and intended to bring him up as a burnt offering to his Elohim. And had it not been for Elohim, who prevented him from doing this, he would have then have done it through his love to his Elohim. And Elohim saw all his works and swore unto him and promised him that he would deliver his sons and all his seed from every trouble that would befall them, because he had done this thing. Okay, there's our covenant for him protecting us and delivering us, okay? Okay. And through his love to his Elohim, stifled his compassion for his child. And have you not heard of what their Elohim did to the Pharaoh, king of Mitzrayim, and to Avimelech, king of Gerar, through taking Abraham's woman, whom said of her, she is my sister, lest they might slay him on account of her, and think of taking her for a woman. And Elohim did unto them and their people all that ye heard of. And behold, we ourselves saw with our eyes that Esau, the brother of Jacob, or Yaakov, came to him with 400 men with the intention of slaying him. For he called to mind that he had taken away from him his father's blessing. And he went to meet him when he came from Aram to smite the mother with the children. And who delivered him from his hands? But his Elohim, whom he trusted. He delivered him from the hand of his brother and also from the hands of his enemies. And surely he again will protect them. Who does not know that their Elohim, who inspired them with strength to do to the town of Shechem the evil which ye heard of, could it then be that with their own strength that two men could destroy such a large city of Shechem, had it not been for their Elohim? So of course they know it's not these two men. There's the strength of these two men that are doing this. Okay? He says, in whom they trusted. He said, and did unto them all this to slay the inhabitants of the city in their city. And can you then prevail over them who have come forth together from your city to fight with the whole of them? Even if 1,000 times as many more should come to your assistance, surely you know and understand that you do not come to fight with them, but you come to war with their Elohim, who made choice of them. And you have therefore all come to this day to be destroyed. I don't know about you guys, but that gets me hyped up right there. When you sit there and you listen to that right there, I'm going to read that part again because that's one of my favorites of this in Jasher. It says, surely you know and understand that you do not come to fight with them, but you come to war with their Elohim, who made choice of them. And you have therefore all come this day to be destroyed. Now therefore refrain from this evil which you are endeavoring to bring up upon yourselves, and it will be better for you not to go to battle with them, although they are but few in numbers, because their Elohim is with them. And when the kings of the Amorim heard all the words of the advisors, their hearts were filled with terror, and they were afraid of the sons of Yaakov, and would not fight against them. Again, that's a reference back there to Deuteronomy 28:10, knowing who we are and being afraid of us. That's actually a blessing for them, because had they not understood who we were at that time, they went out there, they would have lost the battle. They would have lost hundreds of thousands of men. I said, so that was actually a blessing for them to understand who they're really fighting against. They're not fighting against 100 men that are there on the hill. You have 600,000 men and you're afraid of 100. You're not afraid of the 100 men. You're afraid of their power. Okay? And our power is coming back to us now. And our power is restoring us now. And now with that, brethren, I want to say, thank you for listening. And I'm praying this has been a blessing to you guys. And I love the fact that I see a lot of people actually watching the videos. And I'm praying that they're a blessing to everyone that watches them. Shalom.